They did it. Adam Pearce and Triple H just walked into WWE and fired Seth Rollins. The same Seth Rollins who has been hiding in the shadows for months. The same Seth Rollins who lied to the entire world about being at home with his daughter while he flew to Riyadh and destroyed Bron Breakker's Royal Rumble before it even started. The same Seth Rollins who hit a curb stomp on that ramp, rolled Breakker into the ring, and let Obafemi eliminate him in under 20 seconds. The same man who has been playing every single person in WWE, the fans, the media, the locker room, and even WWE's own medical department, for months. Gone. Fired. Done. Out of WWE. And here is what makes this even more explosive. This is the same Adam Pearce who suspended Bron Breakker indefinitely just 3 weeks before the Royal Rumble. The man who grabbed Pearce by the collar. The man Pearce sent home and told to never come back. And now Pearce is turning around and using that same authority, the same power he used to punish Breakker, to cut Seth Rollins loose from the company entirely. And Triple H. The man who teased the reveal on the Royal Rumble post-show. The man who smiled and pointed everyone directly at Seth Rollins without saying his name. The man who basically confirmed it was Rollins with the "very clean curb stomp" comment. Now Triple H is standing side by side with Pearce and making it official. Seth Rollins is fired from WWE. If you think this story is over, you are dead wrong. Because firing Seth Rollins does not end this. It makes it worse. It makes it more dangerous. And Bron Breakker and the Vision are about to find out exactly what happens when you back a man like Seth Rollins into a corner and take everything away from him, again. Drop a comment right now. Do you think firing Seth Rollins was the right call? Or did Pearce and Triple H just make the biggest mistake of their lives? I want to see this comment section go absolutely crazy. Share this video. Tag every wrestling fan you know. Because this is the biggest storyline development coming out of the Royal Rumble and we are breaking down every single piece of it. Before we get into it, if you are new to Ring Rumble 1, this is the channel where we do not just tell you what happened. We break down why it happened, how it was built, and what is coming next. Everything we just talked about in that hook. That is exactly what you get here every single time. Hit subscribe right now. Hit that bell. Turn on all notifications. Because the Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker feud is about to become the most talked about story in WWE heading into WrestleMania 42, and I am not letting you miss a single second of the coverage. Subscribe. Bell. All notifications. Now let us get into it. To understand why Pearce and Triple H firing Seth Rollins is such a massive moment, you have to understand the entire timeline. Because this is not something that happened overnight. This has been building for months. Every single piece connects. It starts on October 13, 2025. Seth Rollins is the World Heavyweight Champion. He is the leader of the Vision, a faction that includes Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Paul Heyman. Rollins is at the top. He built this group. He runs this group. And then Breakker turns on him. Breakker spears him. Reed hits him with a tsunami. Heyman walks away with Breakker and Reed. The Vision throws its own leader out like he means nothing. Rollins suffers a shoulder injury at Crown Jewel. Adam Pearce strips him of the World Heavyweight Championship on October 20th. And Seth Rollins disappears from WWE television entirely. But he does not disappear from the story. On November 29th at Survivor Series War Games, a masked figure in a black hoodie climbs into the War Games cage, hits CM Punk with a superkick and a curb stomp, and flips the entire match in favor of the Vision. The internet explodes. Seth Rollins. Everyone says it absolutely ballistic on Raw. He interfered in a tag match, speared Dragon Lee and Penta, and when Adam Pearce came to the ring to confront him, Breakker grabbed Pearce by the collar and shoved him into the turnbuckle. Pearce looked Breakker dead in the eyes and suspended him indefinitely. Sent him home. Done. Paul Heyman immediately fired back. He told Pearce on live television, and this is important, that Pearce put his hands on Breakker first. That Pearce was the aggressor. That footage would prove it. Pearce stood there and you could see the realization hit him that he might have just made a massive mistake. That suspension set the stage for everything that happened at the Royal Rumble. Breakker came back as number 2. And then the masked man showed up and destroyed him before he even entered the ring. Royal Rumble night. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Obafemi enters as number 1. Breakker is announced as number 2. He starts walking down that ramp with Paul Heyman by his side. And then the masked man appears. Same black hoodie. Same black mask. He attacks Breakker from behind. Steel steps. Superkick. And then a curb stomp. A perfect, textbook, Seth Rollins curb stomp, right there on the ramp. He rolls Breakker into the ring. Oba Femi throws him over the top rope. Under 20 seconds. Breakker is gone. Paul Heyman is screaming at ringside. The Vision just got hit by someone they thought was completely out of the picture. And then after the show, Triple H goes on the post-show panel. They ask him about the masked man. And Triple H does not deny it. He does not dodge the question. He smiles, and he says he does not want to make any accusations. But then he says that was a very clean curb stomp. He nods and confirms that whoever it was has clearly done it before. At least once. Triple H was not going to say the name out loud that night. But he was holding up a sign that pointed directly at Seth Rollins. And now, just days later, he and Pearce have made it official by firing him. Now here is where this gets really, really interesting. Because on the surface, firing Seth Rollins looks like the right move. He attacked a fellow WWE superstar at the Royal Rumble. He has been operating behind a mask for months, attacking people, manipulating storylines, deceiving the entire company. You fire someone for that. It makes sense. But think about what firing Seth Rollins actually does. First, it takes away any leverage WWE has over him. When you are employed by a company, that company has rules. They have regulations. They can control when you show up, where you appear, what you do. The second you fire someone, that person is no longer bound by any of those rules. Seth Rollins is now a free agent. He can show up anywhere he wants. He can do anything he wants. And WWE cannot stop him. Second, it gives Seth Rollins a narrative weapon that is almost impossible to beat. He is now the guy who was fired. The guy who was cast out. The guy who lost everything, twice. First when the Vision turned on him. And now when the company itself threw him out. That makes Seth Rollins a sympathetic figure. That makes him a dangerous figure. Because a man with nothing left to lose is the most unpredictable man in any room. He walked around on crutches. He went out in public on crutches. He took his daughter out on crutches. He lied to his own wife. And then he showed up at SummerSlam and cashed in Money in the Bank on CM Punk to win the World Heavyweight Championship. WWE called it the greatest ruse in the history of the company. Seth Rollins has already proven he is willing to deceive everyone around him, his family, his employers, the entire WWE universe, if it means getting what he wants. Firing him does not stop that. It removes the last thing that was keeping him in check. So where does this leave Bron Breakker? Breakker has been on an absolute emotional rollercoaster over the past 3 months. He turned on Seth Rollins in October. He became the new leader of the Vision. He lost the World Heavyweight Championship to CM Punk. He went ballistic on Raw and got suspended by Adam Pearce. He came back at the Royal Rumble ready to make a statement, and got destroyed before he even touched the ring. And now the man who destroyed him is not just confirmed as the attacker. He has been fired from WWE. Which means Seth Rollins is out there. Free. Uncontrolled. And with a personal vendetta against Breakker that is only going to get deeper. Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. He is heading to WrestleMania 42. CM Punk is the World Heavyweight Champion. Drew McIntyre holds the undisputed WWE Championship. Those are the big names on the surface. But the feud that is going to define the emotional core of the road to WrestleMania 42 is Rollins vs. Breakker. And firing Seth Rollins just made that feud 10 times more unpredictable. Because now there are no guardrails. No rules. No authority figure who can step in and keep Seth Rollins in line. Pearce and Triple H thought they were protecting WWE by firing Rollins. They may have just unleashed the most dangerous version of Seth Rollins that has ever existed. Alright, here is what I need from you right now. Go to that comment section. Tell me, do you think firing Seth Rollins was a mistake? Is Rollins going to come back more dangerous than ever? And do you think Bron Breakker is ready for what is coming? I want your theories. I want your predictions. I am reading every single one, and the best ones are going into my next video. Smash that like button if this video got you fired up. Subscribe if you are not already. Bell. All notifications. This storyline is about to explode and I am covering every single development as it happens on this channel. This is Ring Rumble 1. I will see you in the next one.